My antipathy for Donald Trump is no secret. I've written many articles about Trump and his horrible policies, and I've made even more posts on the ASE Facebook page itself. I've mocked and satirized Trump to the point that about a third of my love letters that I get from angry fans consist of calling me fake news, despite the fact that, as Snopes pointed out when they debunked one of my recent articles, I normally include a disclaimer at the end explaining that it's a joke. I mean, hell, I even make merch that mocks his policies, which you can and should totally buy in our store. The link is down in the description. So it might be surprising that I have a problem with people conducting random acts of violence against Trump and his administration. A couple of days ago, someone took a pickaxe to Donald Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which is a symbol of recognition for someone whose only claim to Hollywood fame is having a reality TV show, which seems a little bit much in the first place, but second-guessing their rationale is the topic of another video. Yesterday morning, a yacht belonging to the Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, was set adrift on Lake Huron after someone untied it from its mooring. The boat actually had people on board, meaning this could have very possibly resulted in a member of the crew getting injured. Instead, the yacht struck a rock, resulting in about $5,000 to $10,000 worth of damages, which sounds like a lot to you and me, but when a $40 million yacht is one of many in your fleet, it's really nothing. Now, obviously, I'm not shedding any tears for the victims of these crimes. I don't feel bad for them in the slightest. But I do question why we're cheering on people who do this in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong here. Donald Trump and Betsy DeVos are objectively bad people who, instead of serving the general public, are only interested in furthering their own agendas and personal interests. They create their own catastrophes, then want credit for solving them. Trump's policies resulted in separating children from their parents at the border. They resulted in kids being put in cages. His tariffs have caused countless farmers to struggle to make ends meet. And now, to protect his own interest in keeping the farmers' votes, they resulted in welfare for the farmers, which somehow makes sense in some sort of alternate dimension. It's completely clear that both Trump and DeVos do not care about the citizens they were chosen to represent. This is obvious when you consider the fact that Trump could feed every single homeless military veteran for the cost of his absurd military parade. And it's obvious when you consider that DeVos is endorsing school vouchers, which actually work to undermine public schools by trying to privatize them, with the ultimate goal of demonstrably false religious-based things like creationism being taught in schools. And all this reminds me of the Arkansas's Ten Commandments monument that was unlawfully installed on public property. Less than a day after it was put up, it was vandalized by a man who drove his car into it. The Freedom from Religion Foundation's response to the incident pretty much summarizes my feelings on the matter quite well. There is no need to resort to criminal behavior to uphold the Constitution. Obviously, the motivation of this disturbed individual is unknown, and perhaps even unknown to him, but it is unlikely to be about upholding the separation of religion and government. Whatever his motivation, we are a nation that is governed by the rule of law. That not only means vandalism will not be tolerated, but it also means that we take our disputes to court. So, what exactly gives someone the right to decide that someone else's property deserves to be vandalized? And where do we draw the line deciding when enough is enough? And what will it take anyway? Will it have to result in someone being injured for people to realize that vandalism is wrong? And look, I get it. Vandalism is a form of protest, and it makes you feel good in the moment because you're in a situation where everything feels completely out of control, and this gives you momentary control over someone else. So it can feel cathartic in that moment because it allows you to express your most primal urges in a violent act that forces people to pay attention to it. But incidents of vandalism like these play right into the hands of the Trump administration and his supporters. We've seen time and time again that Trump has no qualms with manipulating the truth to suit his narrative, even if what he says is demonstrably false. So it only benefits them when these things happen. Trump's star will be repaired, DeVos's boat will get fixed, and a $10,000 repair for a $40 million yacht isn't really much anyway. Mob justice benefits no one. Just because something feels good to do at the time doesn't mean it's the best thing to be doing. Everybody thinks it's great until the mob decides that... Everybody thinks mob justice is great until the mob decides that it's time to target you or someone else that you disagree with. So to check my own biases, I like to play this mental game where I imagine if someone had destroyed a monument or plaque or something else, Barack Obama, or if somebody vandalized his house or something he owned. So imagine how these headlines would read and how much outrage there would be from people on the left. vandalism like this does not fix anything. It's essentially the thoughts and prayers of the far left. It feels nice at the time, and we all have a good laugh about it. And if I can be honest with you, a lot of these memes that came out of it are pretty funny. But then in a week or two, the damage is repaired, nothing changes, and all you've done is given Trump and his sycophants tangible evidence that they can point to that's demonstrating how unhinged the left is. It's playing right into their game, and it proves them right to themselves, and it further emboldens them in their ideology. So my preferred source of rationality, Seth Andrews of the Thinking Atheist podcast, explained it rather eloquently yesterday. He said, "In our quest for champions, let's not align ourselves with those who play to our basest instincts, break the law we're working to uphold, and make us look like an out-of-control mob. We don't need any more tantrum-throwing children in this situation. We need more adults in the room." So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you disagree with what I said, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something here. But if this is the first time you've seen anything by me, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And you can also follow me on Facebook as a science enthusiast. And if you really, really like me and want to be one of my favorite people, hop on over to patreon.com/a-science-enthusiast, and you can check out all the different things I do beyond a science enthusiast, which includes cats and satire and a lot of memes and even more stuff. I have links to all that stuff in the description. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.